Welcome back. You're watching Focus Live Season 3. I am Vikas Nandia. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue to be in conversation with prominent organizations. As you know, today on the program, we are talking about COVID-19 emergency relief efforts in India. And in this segment, we have with us two individuals who join us from Chicago, Illinois. My first guest on the program over here is Amitabh Mittal. He is the General Secretary of Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America. And my second guest is Nimisha Patel. She is the Director of COVID Relief Seva with Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America. Nimisha and Amitabh, thank you so very much for joining us on Focus Live. Namaskar. सबसे पहले अमिताभ जी मैं आप ही से बातचीत का सिलसिला शुरू करना चाहूँगा. Let me get some insight from you. The efforts put in by VHPA for helping our brothers and sisters back home in India.
So, Namaste Vikas ji. Thank you for inviting us and thank you TV Asia. VHPA efforts, and when you hear the news coming from Bharat, I'm going to go back to April 24th, 25th, about a month ago, that there is a resurgence of a new variant of COVID. Everybody was thinking what to do is the main concern, what to do. You call home and you find out what are the basic needs, requirements happening on the ground, what they need. The answer came back that there is a shortage of oxygen concentrators. The people are dying, their lungs are being taken over by this, curse on humanity, and it's eating up people's lungs. And what we do is they need oxygen, pumped into the lungs to keep them survive. I personally, I can tell you, my closest friend from Boston, he lost his nephew and his bhabhi, both mother and son, within 13 days apart, they passed away. And we were thinking what to do, and then one of our very good volunteers in Chicago, Mr. Johnny, he came up with the idea that, instead of sending small concentrator, figuring out how to send this aid to India, we should send large oxygen generators. So VHPA Chicago kicked in action. There's Dr. Umang Patel in Chicago, who's a very generous person. He donated the entire amount for purchasing the machines. And having the logistic experience, I managed to get those machines on the ground in India within the next 6 days. So they were purchased, packed, shipped. Within 6 days, they were in Ahmedabad. And we thank the Indian government, the aviation ministry for arranging a special. So normally from Delhi to Bombay, you don't have a wide body aircraft to carry such big machines. They specially put a Dreamliner so they can carry the machine from Delhi to Bombay. So we're very thankful to the aviation ministry and the government of India. And these machines were donated to the National Disaster Relief Foundation through the Rotary Club of, if I pronounce it wrong, it's called Udana or Udana in Gujarat, because you have to use an NGO to NGO. And yes, so they are on the ground. These machines are working. They're doing their job. And then we have our close relations with Bharat Kalyan Pratishthan that reached out to us and informed us that in addition to oxygen supplies, there are other basic needs. The sheer number of deaths that are happening is putting a strain on the cremation. This is a sad subject to talk about, but that is necessity. And we said, what do you need for that? And immediately they said, we can create these special machines for cremation, and it will cost X amount to do. What do we do? So we promised 100 machines right away. That Renuji, who's from Ohio, she had the conversation, she promised it. And she calls us and she goes, we promised 100 to send. I said, what are we going to do? But then we have the people in the United States are woken up. They want to help India. So you make 2 calls, and believe me, you have great donors who came up forward and said, I'll donate 50, I'll donate 50. Within 2 hours of our thinking what to do, just like with the $1 million machines that we sent, the generosity of Indians and their need to help India just was tremendous.
Yeah.
So we are already
speaking about generosity, speaking about individuals who came at the forefront for helping, our folks back home in India. Nimisha, I want to shift gears and reach out to you. I want to touch and talk a little bit about volunteerism over here. Can you just talk about you being the director of COVID relief efforts, COVID relief Seva at VHPA? the amount of support that you've gotten from volunteers over here in the United States, and also I hope you're working closely with some of these volunteers back over in India who are actually on ground. Can you just give us some insight on that front?
Sure. So yes, when all this came up, this all the COVID situation came up, and especially the second wave had hit so hard. So that's when VHPA, our national president, and our national secretary Amitabh ji has reached out to me that we are creating this position because we are in need right now. So and I graciously took it. So as soon as I took it, my main agenda was to inspire. Even though we had enough volunteer and we had enough donor, our agenda is to help out as much as we can in Bharat, and that's what I've been started doing. I've been started calling each and every chapter to spread awareness, to increase them to do even better, and like find a donor, do what we can, and that's how we I got it. जैसे कि हमें ये 3 machines मिले, उसके donor मिले, we handle logistics. इसके अलावा we have helped many other organizations to send this their equipments out, like जैसे कि सेवा है, एकल विद्यालय है, even विश्व उम्या फाउंडेशन है. We have helped many other sister organizations to especially Amitabh ji to send this logistic, provide them a logistical help.
जी, यहाँ मैं एक बात आप दोनों से ये भी जानना चाहूँगा कि देखिए आप वॉलंटियरिज्म की बात चल रही है तो जाहिर है कि आप लोग ये निस्वार्थ सेवा कर रहे हैं, आप लोग अपने दिनचर्या में व्यस्त रहते हैं। कुछ नॉन प्रॉफिट के वॉलंटियर्स ने तो कुछ दिनों की छुट्टी, सप्ताह दर सप्ताह की छुट्टियां लेकर के इस और बड़ी लगन से कार्य किया है। और आप कुछ लोग ऐसे जो दिन भर अपना रूटीनली काम करने के बाद शाम को ये सब काम में जुट जाते रहे हैं और जुट रहे हैं, अभी भी जुड़ते चले जा रहे हैं, बिकॉज ये जो मांग है भारत में लोगों की मदद करने की, ये बहुत बड़ी है, बिकॉज उसमें आर्थिक सहायता, उसके साथ मानसिक सहायता, उसके अतिरिक्त ये जो मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट की सहायता, ये सब बहुत जरूरी है। तो दो पहलू अमिताभ जी, मैं आपसे पहले जानना चाहूंगा कि ये जो लोगों का बढ़ चढ़ के सहयोग आ रहा है, उस ओर से आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, और दूसरा कि लोगों ने जैसे अपने खुद के काम छोड़ दिए, पहले इस ओर लगे, उस ओर से क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
It's a good question. I tell you personally, since April 24th, I've been just doing this.
Acha,
I've been doing this. I am not liberty to use the name of the organizations that I've helped or worked with, because it will be taking credit for what they have collected for donations, and they're doing the groundwork. But personally, I have done on the regular basis handling shipments going out for upwards of 10 different organizations. And some of the, and it's not limited to only just say Hindu organizations. I have all Christian organizations and Muslim organizations, and moving their, what they say, my name got out because we did the first machine and said, this guy knows what to move. So it's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know, but a lot of people calling me. I still have a lot of phone calls today also. They request coming from send our personal items, and I say I can't do personal, it has to be an organization. So they find an organization, they put together, they send it to me, or go through me, and I'll manage their shipment to India, final destination.
In terms of sourcing the material, the medical equipment that you all folks are sending from the United States, how are you doing it? Are you sourcing it from India itself, from China or other part of the world? Can you talk about that? And also, how the logistics are working once the equipment reaches in India? What is its first destination? And then thereafter, how it is segregated, delegated? Can you talk about that whole process?
Okay, so not taking names of the organizations, so my part is mostly strictly to logistics of it, getting it from here, making sure it gets into India timely manner, whichever city it's going to. Our personal experiences with the 3 machines that we sent out, they were delivered to an NGO in India. That is the modus operandi here, that you ship from an NGO to an NGO in India, and then the responsibility is of the NGO to distribute it. I can tell you again, without taking names, that we have good organizational reach in India, that all the equipment that is being delivered is distributed properly to hospitals or to the centers that they have built.
Where did you source it from?
No, we are not involved in sourcing any product. We're just helping it get it to the point B, right? From here to India. Sourcing here is focused. There are people who are directly talking to the manufacturers like NIDAC and Stratus and Devil Bliss, who are producing exclusively for this organization. And then there are people who are sourcing it from China. There are people who are sourcing it from Germany, and I've done like 2 shipments out of Germany for someone, and they source the product in Germany. So there are people who are getting the news is of people who are being swindled also. So we have to be very careful. We know everybody wants to get the right product, but there are people who would buy something off of Amazon, which is actually not an oxygen concentrator. And they think, oh, because it's going to provide 93% of oxygen, well, it provides it at such a low number that it's not really the medical grade. That's what you need for this. So the message we would send out from here, people who are sourcing this product to be sent to India, please check with the doctors. Please check if this is going to be workable or not. I can tell you from my experience right now with moving these equipment, there are only 3 or 4 actual brands in US who make medical grade oxygen concentrator. It will be the Philips, will be the Devil Bliss, and the Stratus. Other than these, most of them are gimmicks, and people getting trapped and they're paying high dollar, and they should be careful of that.
At this point of time, what are the requirements that you are getting from on-ground volunteers? What are the in dire needs of? Nimisha, can you mention? I mean, other than the oxygen concentrators and supply of oxygen machines, what are the other things that they're looking at right now?
So there are many. In the beginning, yes, it was the oxygen concentrator that was the most need of it. But as we pass by, we have realized that many children have lost their families. Many women have lost their husband or the breadwinner of the family. So this is what we are doing, and then of course that cremation machine, that cow dung cremation machine, was also another project that came through VHPA. As we are going, we are realizing that these are also the needs that we need to work on. In the beginning, we have focused on the oxygen concentrator first.
Right.
Then we realized about this cremation issue, so we came up with this cow dung machine. Now we are also accepting donation and urging people to donate as well for the families who has lost, especially for the children's,
Right.
especially for those wives. So if they donate to us, we can help them, fulfill their needs and help them pass through these tough times.
So like I said before, the breadwinner of the family, the nephew of my friend, passed away. His mother, who was taking care of the household, she passed away. Now what to do with that family? That kind of help is the second stage need. There are many children who are orphaned. They lost both parents, or their caretaker is lost. So what to do? Those are the second requests that are coming in. We are again working with Bharat Kalyan Pratishthan, and there are some NGOs that are, Bharat Kalyan Pratishthan is reaching out to across all of the India, we'll be working on that project. And we already announced it yesterday, I believe. Nimisha, I think we sent out the flyer. We are working on helping the orphans of this calamity. We're working towards helping, providing families their daily needs, or food distribution. And there was some packet food distribution. I just heard about it. I don't have the confirmation on it. That was done in the last 3 days.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick short break over here. On the other side of the break, we'll continue our conversation with VHPA officials. Viewers, you stay tuned. Amitabh ji, Nimisha, you also stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.